So for my project, I decided to do a hot dog. Now, the reason I did a hot dog was because you can find hot dogs everywhere in the United States. You find them at football games, basketball games, occasionally soccer games, on all levels. High school, collegiate, and professional. But one of the other reasons is you can go to any big city and find a hot dog vendor, whether that be on the street, outside a big important building, or in the park next to the flower garden. Hot dog vendors are everywhere. So once I decided I was going to make a hot dog, I sat down and I wrote out a list of what I was going to need. I was going to need paints, what colors I was going to need, what colors I was going to need to mix. Then I needed to figure out what the bun was going to be made out of, what the hot dog was going to be made out of. So I eventually decided on a dowel rod for the hot dog because it was very simple. It was already the basic shape, very minimal effort to be turned into a hot dog, and then foam for the bun. I used gardening foam for that. Part of the reason I went with foam was because it is very porous, and if you look at bread, on that inside part, it doesn't look solid. It has that porous holes type of look, and when you paint over the foam, you get that same kind of look. So that's why I went with foam for the bread. And so after I figured out the stuff I needed, I went out and bought it, and then I got home and I got to work. I sanded down the edges of the dowel rod once I cut it to size, to get rid of those sharp corners as best I could. And then I cut the corners off of the foam block, sanded that down with some sandpaper, very easy. I then cut my V into the foam. In hindsight, I should have drilled a hole to place the dowel rod first, then cut my V. It would have made my life easier, but nonetheless, I got the same result. And then after I had finished, I made everything a little more smooth, sanded it to shape a little better, and then I painted it. And yeah. My self-evaluation, not the best I believe it could have been. There are some things in hindsight that I would have done differently, but overall I am very proud of what I've turned in.